order to get sales, there's more beyond Instagram. Instagram is not the all only platform, right? And as a business and marketing graduate, Instagram is just a social media platform. And I've studied marketing and business. There comes um, many different components inside a business game plan.
Hello, welcome to Monetizing Mompreneurs podcast, where I take you behind the scenes with industry leaders, entrepreneurs, moms, working professionals, and amazing people pursuing their passions and going for their dreams. And I'm your host, Linda Mendable.
Alia is a business and marketing consultant for online coaches, service providers, and small businesses that helps them with their marketing strategies and sales strategies, using one-on-one tailored strategies to consistently attract high-ticket quality clients and gain clarity and focus to help them grow their business and impact without the marketing overwhelm. Alia, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Linda, for having me. I'm super excited for our conversation today.
I am more excited because I follow you on Instagram and I love your approach. I love the way that you show up. And I know that people are going to get a treat in today's episode. So tell us a little bit about your journey to where you are right now.
Excellent. So I studied business and marketing back in university, and I've actually worked in multiple different tech startups in different industries. And I took a sabbatical while I was living in Phuket, actually. I just wanted to take some time and reflect on what's going to happen after my 30s. And that's when like the whole digital nomad started, just right before COVID, literally. And I somehow stumbled into a business coach, bro marketing, where come and start a digital marketing agency and let's start making six figures, right? And I was so intrigued by this because no one around me ever used to talk about such crazy numbers, right? It was very outside my ecosystem. So I jumped on that because it was just a natural way to jump in. And I was taught horrible techniques. Booking 60 sales calls a month, doing daily cold DMing and cold calls and cold outreach. And I was very, very drained. So after my own trial and error, invested in other business coaches, I started figuring out what is a more real, genuine way that I'm happy to do, and actually learning myself how to do lead generation that felt authentic and real and not so heavy, while also enjoying running my business. This coach used to preach about the hustle culture, working 16 hours a day and blaming us if we watch Netflix. Like, it's always hustle culture instead of Netflix, YouTube instead of Netflix, do that. And I'm like, bro, like that's not going to happen. So now 4 years later, over $40,000 invested in my own business, I figured out just a more fun way of running my business, enjoying the time freedom, enjoying the location freedom, while also making consistent 5K months in my business. And now I teach this to my own clients, actually, sometimes my clients make more money than me, and I love it. So that's where I am now. And I'm so happy I decided to jump on board. Maybe he was not the right person, but he actually got me to the dream life that I wanted. So here we are now.
I always believe like there's never any mistakes, especially like when you're at a place, because when you're in the trenches, you're like, this is a waste, and but when you get to a point that you have more clarity, things are working, you look back at all of the mistakes and you notice like, wait, they weren't mistakes, they actually helped me get to this
100%. Yeah. 100%.
All right. So let's talk, because we talked a little bit before we came onto the podcast. Let's talk a little bit about what you were talking about. Like, you're more about like social media, lead gen, and also relationship marketing. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So after learning those very heavy lead generation techniques, I started realizing that I loved connecting with people and jumping on calls with them, even if I approached them in a direct way. And over the years and months of getting on calls with people, because online there is actually getting on calls with people and connecting. But then I started realizing that on Instagram, all these business coaches and Instagram coaches, they were just all about attraction marketing, right? So during COVID, where all the coaches were making all their crazy sales, and now you realize that they're not actually achieving any of those sales, right? Because COVID was like this just unexpected time. They were just all about attraction marketing and content marketing and Instagram. And I'm like, in order to get sales, there's more beyond Instagram. Instagram is not the all only platform, right? And as a business and marketing graduate, Instagram is just a social media platform. And I've studied marketing and business. There comes um, many different components inside a business game plan. So that's when I realized that a lot of business owners lacked business and marketing expertise and knowledge. They were just focused on Instagram and doing content and reels and sitting and spending hours on Canva. That's when I started shifting into, not shifting, actually realizing somebody needs to teach them actually what to focus on in business. And it's not just, or the only thing to do is content marketing. That's where teaching them lead generation came in. So I started from my own techniques and, like I said, trial and error, teaching people how to do lead generation in a non-salesy way, in a non-pushy way, without cold DMing. And it's by actually setting up our social media platforms, let's say Instagram or TikTok, and also LinkedIn, which a lot of people never talk about. So I'm actually a LinkedIn coach, and turning these social media platforms into sales funnels, right? Into active sales funnels that do all the heavy lifting for you. They sell for you on autopilot, and they funnel in warm qualified leads for you. And what you have to do as a business owner is to actually start conversations with them in a non-salesy way, in a non-cold approach way, but actually start conversations with people that are already following you, already connecting with you, and turn those conversations into sales, right? But in a very organic way and without feeling pushy, without feeling salesy, right? So and that's what I focus on a lot. I'm very big on using LinkedIn because LinkedIn is really, honestly, it's really meant for business. And sadly, many business entrepreneurs do not like the platform. It's a very non-sexy platform, but LinkedIn is the fastest way to get high-ticket clients. It's meant for business. And the sales cycle is much shorter. So if you don't have time as a mom entrepreneur, and if you're a service provider, you should definitely be using LinkedIn. And if you are a coach that works with companies or even with busy or professionals, LinkedIn is a great platform. So I focus a lot on teaching you how to do lead generation in a non-salesy way and turning your social media platforms into sales funnels so that you can just focus on the fun stuff, content creation and video marketing.
I love this conversation because it's just the truth. Like there's so much bad information out there. They don't have experience, and yet they're kind of like saying like, oh, I'll do XYZ because I finished this course. And I don't want to knock out courses because courses are great because we have to do those things. But sometimes they only put their weight on the course without having any experience, and they want to get high ticket with no experience, you know? And I think there's always kind of like this pay to play thing going on in online, and you got to put some skin in the game as far as experience goes. And not saying that people can't book high ticket from the get, but there has to be some underlying experiences, you know what I'm saying, for you to even accomplish that, because things are not always cut and dry how some people think, right?
No, like business, like if business was just as simple as that, follow the strategy and you get the results, everybody will be a millionaire. But in business, it's there's the strategies, but there's also the art of mixing everything together. And it's all about trial and error. I can give you my own ads campaigns and the back end and the copy and the text, and go and use it for your own business. It might flop and not give you the same results, right? I can give
Hallelujah.
you Yeah, I could give you the same message scripts that I use for my Instagram, and it might
Ooh.
flop with you. Nothing is set in stone. That's what people don't understand. So copying a bit what a business coach taught you and saying, I'm going to copy that same one and give it to clients, and you're a 21-year-old girl that just got this course, and now you're saying now you're a business coach that helps them to go to get to six figures. without having actual real experience, without investing your own time and money and actually creating those results 2, 3, 4 times over is to me misleading 100%. Like I never share any strategy before I have tried it and tested. Like with the ManyChat, have you used ManyChat in your business
Yes.
before? So before I gave a training to my clients, it took me 2, 3 months. I used it myself. Then I gave them a training. Like, look how magical it is. Look at the time saved. Look how beautiful it is, right? I do it. I put my money, I invest it, and then I teach them something new, right? So, yeah, there's just so many. That's why people also don't have trust issues with coaches with online, right?
Yes.
Because every other person now is a coach. You can be a coach with a business coach without a degree, and that sucks.
There's two sides to every story, right? There's two sides to this coin when it comes to online marketing and business coaching and coaches and all of that. But I have come across people that have been burned. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been burned before, and all of that. And one of the things I'm trying to prevent is people giving up because they've been burned, right? And trying to give real life experiences like this is legit, this is what I figured out, this is not something that has been regurgitated or has taken and then spin off and given to you, because there are fundamentals, right? There are fundamental rules in marketing and sales that will always work. And that if you don't know the foundation of the marketing and sales, I feel like, yeah, you're going to flop. And you're exactly right. I had a sales page, amazing copy, amazing images, amazing mock-ups, but in a certain type of environment did not do well. Switch it up to a different environment is one of my greatest lead gens. So I really think you have to figure out, what is in alignment with your brand that actually gets people to buy and purchase. I mean, we were talking about masculine and feminine energies, right? So I do lean towards the feminine side. And I remember I was studying Facebook groups because one of my trainings in my program is how to utilize Facebook groups, because I think they're very profitable. And if you know how to use them, right? Like you love LinkedIn, I want to go deeper into that. But when I was studying Facebook groups, I looked at the comments. I would put a comment, right? The same, and no, I would get no comments, right? I'll get no engagement. I would get zero. I put the same comment, but with a different energy, putting that comment towards, and I will get 100 and 100 comments.
Wow.
Energetically wise, right? So what I really say to, before you post something, before you ask people to sign up for your item in a group or in a group setting, set your intentions within yourself and then hit post, because that makes a difference. I saw it, like when I was rushing and just, sign up, crickets. But when I started setting my intention, like I'm here to serve and I'm not really trying to get anything, but I really want to help. That's when it flourished. That's when engagement, really got going.
No, I learned that really late in the game. So I started 4 years ago, and everything was just very heavy. Like I come from a country of war. I come from Lebanon. We had like a horrible explosion 2 years ago in my country where I had to relocate to Barcelona and move my mom here. 2 weeks after buying my domain name, the bank took my money, literally took all the savings of the whole country. I had like more than $30,000 in the bank, gone, poof, done, right? So I had a lot of negative energy around money and around like certainty and being always on fight or flight mode. And when it comes to running a business, as an entrepreneur and as a mother, like we're always already in fight or flight. We're always anxious. We're always trying to get money. There's lack of leads and lack of money and like all this negative stuff that goes about being an entrepreneur. And then add to it all this other extra beautiful negative stuff to it. So it was very heavy. And then on the online world, I would see like all these mindset business coaches and feminine energy and la la la. And to me, I was just ignoring it, till I hit rock bottom. I hit rock bottom. It was like 2 years ago on Christmas. I had COVID for the first time, and I don't believe in COVID till now. I don't believe in COVID. And I was like, okay, now after 2 years, I got COVID. I'm in bed alone in Barcelona, away from my family. And this business coach came, and she works with Bob Proctor. when he was alive 2 years ago. And she was saying, this was like, as a someone that's very masculine energy and pragmatic consultant strategist type, it was very also, that woo-woo stuff is very beyond me, right? So she said, do you want to be in the same place 6 months from now or 1 year from now? And I'm like, no, like I'm not going to be in bed alone, barely making any income in my business. And that's when like I invested $10,000 into working on my own mindset. That's when I started believing what you were saying. Before, when I was doing lead generation, I was just like send, and negative energy about money. No, 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 no. And so what was I getting? Nothing. I was getting nothing, right? But then I started working my mindset, and you work on your mindset and your inner child and your trauma and all this stuff, which was very heavy, but really honestly, everything became so much smoother, so much. Then I started combining the feminine and the masculine. That's where I still tell my clients, we need the strategy, but I also need you to believe that you're going to get clients and your self-worth and law of abundance and all of that. But like I've told you, like I've said, it's really all alert. Like you really have to go into the gutter and pick yourself up. And that's, if I gave up too early, I wouldn't be where I am now speaking to you, right? I would have given up because I got burnt out. But no, I wanted to continue doing it. And that does require investing my time and my money if I'm here for the long run. So that's also is the difference between the entrepreneurs that are here for the long term versus the coaches that want to do quick money now, right? Like this online world of like make money now, versus being here for the long term. So yeah.
Oh, first of all, I'm so sorry for your loss, and I can't even imagine the trauma around that, and whoo, girl, I can't even imagine. But I'm thankful that I'm able to sit here and speak with you and talk about such a necessary topic, because a lot of people approach their business and they have that negative energy, right, around it. And they have a very, like, you can't be selfish in a sense of like, I want something, so I'm posting this. You really have to, I want to serve and I want to help, and then post. And that's when you get a really great response, way more than if you're self-serving, as they say, and stuff like that. But I'm very thankful that you're talking about this, because I do say it in my email list and I do talk about it on the podcast, that you have to set your intention. You really do. And I've spoken with a lot of entrepreneurs and they all say the same thing. It wasn't until I got my mindset right. Right. And I was like, what is mindset? What is that?
Yeah. I'm telling you, I used to see that. I'm like, what is this woo they're trying to sell? I'm like, if you just speak to 20 people a day and you get to the right person, no, you will get it. But then, no, I was very in this bro hustling energy. But that's why it has to be a mix, right? So there is the bro marketing and then there is the woo woo feminine. Like, believe it and it's in the universe and they will come to you. That one I don't believe. It's really a mix. You have to understand business foundations and marketing. You have to do market research. You have to do a bit of lead generation in a non-salesy way. You have to start. There are things that there must be done, right?
Yeah.
But they get to
Even
be
faith
fun.
without works. Faith without works is dead. You have to do the action with your faith.
Exactly. It's like saying, or anything. It's like saying, I want to be in a committed relationship, but you're sitting at home and you're not even dating, or you're sitting at home saying he will come. He's not going to be the mailman. So
The UPS guy.
it's a mix of strategy and mindset. Yeah.
I had to tell some friends in the early time, like, oh, I really want to get a guy. And I would say, okay, well, are you going out and trying to be in places that you would get a guy? You can't be at home like with your cat and be like,
Yeah.
they'll come.
Yeah. Like how are they gonna come? Like steal your house? Like
Like go out and go to a library, go to the gym, go to speed dating, go somewhere that you have that you've opened the doors that someone can come in and believe. That's where you believe, right? The faith comes in, and
yes.
believe that the right person will come, and that if it was the wrong person, that God will show you immediately. Red flags.
Immediately. 100%.
Oh my God. Okay, so let's go into, because we can talk all day about the mental, but I feel like there's some people listening that also are like, you know, So let's talk about strategy a little bit since hey, you can't do things without your intention. Check your intention at the door. And then let's move into LinkedIn strategy because I have no idea how to use LinkedIn. So I used to follow an influencer that was kind of like a business coach. And I had a LinkedIn and I had connections in there and I done some like before I do web design, I did a bit of fashion and I did some handmade things and which I had some great reviews on my LinkedIn. But she was like, well, I'm not on LinkedIn, so I deleted it. Right. I was like, shoot, I'm not really on LinkedIn. Let me delete mine. So I deleted it. Yes. And I lost all those
Ooh.
connections. I lost all those great reviews, deleted it. And I'm starting back from scratch because I just opened up a new LinkedIn this
Mm,
fall, this winter. So like fall, winterish. So really kind of like
mm.
this year, I would say, you know, and I have no idea how to use it.
All right. So yeah, I can share some tips about LinkedIn. Let's make it a more sexier platform. Okay, so I want you to think about, I mean, why should we get on LinkedIn? Okay, so I want you to think about how we use Instagram first. Okay, we usually use Instagram for entertainment. Like we used to use it at night to scroll for cat and meme videos and to distract ourselves when we're tired, right? So usually that's the way we use it. But as now business owners, because it's such a beautiful aesthetic platform, we used it for our businesses, right? But the rest of the world is still using it for entertainment. Does not change the fact. Versus LinkedIn, we need to see LinkedIn at a different perspective so that we can start getting on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, before we used to use it for getting a job, right? It's like when we talk about our profile, it's all about me, my competencies, etc. Like hire me, right? But now, if you are a business owner, your LinkedIn personal page and your LinkedIn business page, so there's a LinkedIn business page, which acts like a Facebook business page, but more legit because it's a LinkedIn page. Your both those pages are now basically your one-page website or a sales funnel. You would I know you're all about websites, but if you started your business while you're waiting, while you're working on your business, on your website, you can start actually making sales by actually turning your LinkedIn personal page and business page into sales funnels without any coding, without any design, right? So your pages should act as sales funnels where it walks people through what is it that you do, how do you stand out, how can you help them, case studies, and the next calls to action, and plugging in your lead magnets as well. So that when anybody stumbles on your page, they know what to do, they know who you help, and what are the next steps that you are asking them to do. So that's the first step, which is shifting our perspective and understanding that your LinkedIn personal page is no longer about you, it's more about them. How can you help them? I'm sure you create sales pages a lot for your own clients, right? It's about talking to them, to their hearts and to their minds. So their LinkedIn personal page and business page needs to shift into that. That's the first step. The second step is actually connecting with ideal clients, right? So LinkedIn, as I was telling you earlier, the sales cycle is much shorter and faster on LinkedIn because people on LinkedIn are there to connect with other business owners. It's not B2B. It's also B2C, right? It's not just me connecting to tech startups or like corporate and being so afraid, like, oh my God, it's too professional and too techy and too companies, right? I'd rather sit on Instagram and create these beautiful carousels, right? But nobody's looking at your beautiful carousels. Less than 5% are looking at your carousel because Meta wants you to pay for that, right? It's not Instagram changed the same way Facebook changed, the same way now TikTok is changing. Before 2 years ago during COVID, you post one video, you go viral. Now everybody is still at 200, 150, right? Because now they have TikTok shop and they want you also to run ads and so on and so forth. But on LinkedIn, only 2% are posting content. So there's like 1 billion people on LinkedIn and only 2% are posting content because people are not used to posting content. So the growth and people seeing your content is much higher and faster on LinkedIn. That's a fact. And second, when you are looking for the right people and the right partners to work with you, you can connect with them and actually have serious conversation versus when you're connecting with someone that's following you on Instagram. There is just follow for follow or just like, yeah, I really like your dog or I really like your page and like, okay, let's just connect, right? on LinkedIn is very different. The energy on LinkedIn is very different, right? So people are used to people asking them to have a conversation. It's just the energy when you are sitting on LinkedIn. Also, nobody looks at LinkedIn on Instagram or in the bathroom. They're on LinkedIn on their desktop, right? They're sitting there, okay. So either I am a business coach and you're a website designer, so that business coach, if she's strategic, she's going to be on LinkedIn and connecting with companies, let's say, or with business professional women in the UK or in North Carolina, okay? She's on LinkedIn using it and on her desktop. And you're a website designer and you want to connect with six-figure business coaches and offer them your premium sales pages, right? So you're going to be using LinkedIn on desktop, connecting with her. So she's already doing business and you're connecting with her. You're not approaching her on Instagram and she's there on Instagram looking at cat videos or posting a picture of her and her baby. And you're like, hey, would you like to hop on a call? Like, hey, that's my personal space, you know? So that's like the main difference I feel. So I honestly, in 4 years, I've grown my network on LinkedIn to like 11,000 people. I have daily conversations with ideal clients. They're all serious business owners, mostly coaches, mostly females, mostly service providers, because these are the main people I work with. I also connect a bit with some companies here and there. And it's just been an amazing platform. So do let me know what questions you have for LinkedIn before we dive, because I could speak about it all day long. So
I mean, we're here for it. So,
yeah.
yeah, because I honestly did not know how to approach LinkedIn. So right now, what I did is I set up my content to post on LinkedIn
Mm,
because, well, that's more reach and perhaps, because it's already working for me, in
mm,
its way. And that's one of the ways that I've decided to kind of like grow, I guess, my brand and stuff like that. But I like what you said about case studies. So I remember
mm,
one time I was looking at, just searching in LinkedIn because you're right. I'm not trying to post anything personal. I'm not trying to get
mm,
a business owner. I'm actually looking. I remember I was trying to look for someone. I was trying to see what was out there, if I can find someone specifically knowing how to launch, to like a membership or membership launches and stuff like that, because I'm doing a membership launch and I've invested in a course for ads because I've
mm,
already tested my funnel. It works on a small scale, right? Because it's a volumes game. So I'm ready to grow bigger and put it in, and play the game, right? Play the
mm,
game
mm,
to reach
mm,
higher and more targeted, right? So I was looking at on LinkedIn and I went immediately to the case study. So it was funny that you said that because I went immediately to her case study. She had something that looked like mine and I
mm,
contacted her on IG
mm, mm.
instead of
I mean,
LinkedIn,
yeah, why
which
not?
I
Well,
should have
yeah.
done. But I was checking her
Mm,
everywhere. I was like, let me see how
of
she looks on
course.
IG. Let me see how she looks here. And she was like, I don't even know. And what turned me off a little bit, she could have had a sale maybe, but she was like, I don't, where did you get that information? I'm like, you don't even know how I got that information. Forget it. No, it's
Yeah,
kidding.
forget it for sure. But you see, like you didn't even, maybe you did your due diligence and checked out her website, but you did a
I went to
search.
her
So
website. I
yeah.
found her page. I think she was I forgot what she was, maybe a VA for coaches or something like that. And then I went to her case study, went to her website and then looked specifically at her case study. And she had something that was similar for moms, like a mom. She launched with a mom,
Mm,
whatever. And I was like, shoot, mine is similar. Let me see what she knows about that. But she never gave me information about it. She was like, how did you
mm,
get that? I'm like, okay.
mm, mm,
She
mm.
could have like went deeper and like, hey, what do you want to know?
Yeah,
And I
that's
feel like
weird.
when I contacted her, I already had a pain, right? I was like, man, I really want to figure this thing out. And if she would have gave me information that sounded right, because I want to outsource, right? I don't want to do it myself.
Mm,
But if
mm,
she gave
mm.
me information that aligned with what I believe would be successful, or that made sense, that gave me a different feel perspective, she probably would have had a client right there.
And she didn't even follow up with you after?
No.
Because also LinkedIn is like Google for finding businesses. It's like, and it's very laser focused. Like on LinkedIn, so I work with coaches and service providers in certain cities, for example, and like continents. and because, for the time zone, and how small their company is. So solo entrepreneurs, and in their first 4 years in business. I'm not going to work with someone seasoned because he's probably a six-figure and they need like six-figure stuff. So on LinkedIn, I can find that. On Instagram, you can't. So if you go on Instagram and search, let's say, Health Coach UK, I'm going to find around lots of gibberish shit stuff, like magazines posting about health coaches, or the same coach, and I have no idea her experience, no idea how big she is or her location. I just know UK, all right. Versus on LinkedIn, I can find her health coach. I can say London. I could say she's self-employed. She has how many years she's been in business. So it means she's a target market. I can look for keywords that she's using. So maybe she is talking about like a social selling, and I can talk about social selling, and we can connect. And the sole purpose of us connecting, she gets to see exactly what I do and how I work and all that stuff in a much more professional way than on Instagram. And I take everybody on LinkedIn and I connect everybody on LinkedIn, on Instagram versus Instagram. LinkedIn also the same, as long as you're establishing a connection and having conversation on both platforms. So I love using it. I just like, you could see my tabs is just mainly LinkedIn, and Instagram is just one tab, and it's like for the fun stuff.
No, this is good to know, because especially if that's kind of like, because like I said, like I have no idea how to use it, but based on how I've used it, I'm like, case study, that automatically
Mm.
popped up, because immediately when I go to a website from LinkedIn, I want to know your results that you've gained with other people and other clients. So I think it'll have a case study tab.
Yeah. And the featured section like that, it's important to highlight that, because it's a buying journey, right? Like when somebody stumbles on your page, you're like, oh my God, she works with mother entrepreneurs. I'm a mother entrepreneur, and she's worked with them, and these are the results that she got, and she has a free lead magnet, and I can book a call with her. The decision is so much faster, and when you're on your desktop, your working mode, right? We all check our Instagram here. Like
You're
even
not
if
really
we're
in working mode. Yeah.
you're not really in working mode, right? So on LinkedIn, you're on. So when you connect with someone and you're intrigued, one, that person can go and book a discovery call, but also you have that initiative to say, hey, why don't we get on a connection call, for example? Versus here, like she might be busy, she's just distracting herself or just posting fun stories,
Oh,
and she
yeah.
doesn't care about booking a call with some website designer, for example, right? Versus
Yeah.
the energy when you're on desktop and in working mode.
Yeah. I have a picture that I sent someone that when they try to pitch me, recently I got pitched by someone that had supposedly a 3 million following,
Mm.
and they're pitching me. I'm like, you got 3 million people that follow you on IG. Why are you pitching me? Because you can easily turn that into something else. And
They
they just
probably have a VA doing it or something.
yeah. And then I asked them something from their profile. Okay, tell me the significance of XYZ. And they were
Huh.
gone. They
Oh,
didn't even,
wow.
yeah, because it was something on their profile. And I was like, this doesn't look legit for me. Like it didn't sound right. And I'm gonna test them, like, because I do not like being pitched on IG. I don't.
No, no,
But
no.
you know what? In LinkedIn, I can understand it. It's more understandable. You're a business. I get it.
Yeah. But also, this is why also people don't like LinkedIn, because they think they're gonna get pitched at, and they're gonna pitch the same horrible way by sending these cold DMs. And I'm like, no, LinkedIn is for, like what I was mentioning earlier about, like, I don't want to say, any more lead generation. I'm gonna start saying building and starting conversations. You can
Yeah.
believe in the energy of people coming, and you're going to be booked out and you're going to make 5-10K months, amazing. But how is anyone going to know what you do and how you help them and how you serve them if you don't even say hello? If you
Yeah.
don't even say hello and start conversations, like why would anyone want to make any connection with you, right? I give them a lesson to anybody that sends me a DM. I'm like, did you even take 1 minute to look at what I do before you come pitching to me your services, So it's yeah, very aggressive. And that's why also a lot of women hate the idea of lead generation, because they get approached this way. They think they're gonna do it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, doesn't mean that's how you're gonna do it.
So I did have like I'm kind of coaching someone, through their marketing. And she was like, she was very resistant because she
Mm,
figured out how much work it is, right? Because, you know,
mm.
it gets to a point, everybody points at it like it's so easy.
Easy.
And like, oh, wait, I got to do work. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
I,
Oh,
I got to
God.
have a strategy. I thought just showing up was the strategy, you
It's like
know?
going, it's like trying to lose weight. It's like, why, you think 1 month at the gym, you're gonna lose weight? Like, no, honey.
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
nothing in life is easy. And that's why I love TikTok more than Instagram. Instagram makes it seem like so fluffy and
It
everybody
does.
is making this amazing things versus TikTok, like it's just raw and
Okay.
real. And yeah, it's just not, it's very misleading, this online world. You have to like really be like very aware.
She was talking about how she was burned and she's new. I'm like, damn, who, I wonder who was her first, you know, first to entry, right? Because there's always
Mm-mm.
that. That's something that attracts you, right? But she was telling me, well, I was following all these entrepreneurs and I was like, it just made sense for me to also XYZ, you know? And so we talked about it, of course. But a lot of people also within my society, because I've done really well, even with the you know low following, you know, because it's not, it's really I feel like followers on Instagram is more like vanity metrics. Not
Mm-mm-mm.
really gonna email list now that you should consider that you should
Yes,
really invest in because people do
100%.
buy something and get on emails, right?
Mm.
And emails is where people are buying. You know,
I
holiday.
mean, look, if ASOS and the giants are doing it and Apple, why aren't you doing it? It's like these are giants that are still doing it. And yesterday, somebody asked me on a workshop, it's like, do you think Gen Z relate to email marketing? I'm like, yeah, because they're into the buying. Like TikTok Shop is not going to replace e-commerce websites and email marketing. And we all sign up to emails to get that 10% discount, to get those Black Friday deals, to get those bank
To
holiday
secure your account,
offers.
to log into your
Yeah.
account, you use your email, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like
We
what else are you
see,
gonna use? Yeah.
yeah, what else are you going to use? So email is always going to
Yeah.
be big, you know,
Yeah.
until, you know, that security changes, I guess, because that's where the security is with the email. You know,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people now have a burner email. I know I do. That's what I
Burner
call,
email. Wow.
that's what I call it, a burner email. You just send it just to, so you don't hear.
Yeah,
But
no, I
anyways, and I
don't.
know some people probably have some of those. And so, I mean, the dynamics of the way that people use email is different. So open rates, you know, like you can really see conversions and open rates and how much you're reaching really in email marketing. But the thing that I wanted to say was a lot of my members, because you know, we have a society and a lot of our members, they truly believe in for them to be successful, they got to be huge on Instagram. They believe, you know, and I think that that's very misleading, right? So, like
Mm-hmm.
I said, it's very fluffy. It's very, you know, because I've worked with people that have a higher, you know, follower than me asking for like, hey, how do I monetize this?
100%. Yeah, yeah. I have a lot of clients. Like I had a client, I'll give you a case study. She was a beautiful brand and website designer. She had 18,000 followers. Adobe, the big company, reposted one of her reels of like how to tutorial she was doing and reposted it. And so she jumped from 8K to 10,000. So she had $18,000. She was barely making $2,000. She was barely making $2,000 and she had 18,000 followers. But her audience was mostly graphic designers learning from her. They were not actually ideal clients that are willing to pay premium prices. Within 30 days, she made 5K with increased prices, and now she's fully booked out, making 8, 5, 6, 10K months and leveraging now and knowing how to use her followers to turn them into clients. So really followers don't equal sales. And everyone comes to me like, how do I increase my followers and get more engagement? Is that going to make you
Even
sales? Like,
engagement doesn't make sales. Like
it doesn't make
I've had
sense.
clients that don't even engage with my items. No, like, you
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? Like engagement doesn't say.
Silent lurkers. Yeah. Like it doesn't say
Yeah.
anything.
They'll listen to everything, they'll read everything, but they're not gonna post, they're not gonna like, they're not gonna post, they're
Yeah.
not
They're
gonna
just gonna come
engage.
out of nowhere. You're like, hey, where did you come from? You
Yeah,
know?
that's why the free resource library is like amazing. You know, like for me,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's a good strategy. Like having a free resource library, they automatically convert to.
I love email marketing. I got my account hacked like 2 years ago and I had 2,000 followers. I had to like restart from zero, and I did not have email marketing then. Thank God I had LinkedIn, right? And anytime Instagram crashes, people freak out. But if you have an email list that supports Instagram, or LinkedIn that supports Instagram and emails, and these are 3 sales funnels that are always working for you. You cannot just depend on Instagram. You don't own that. You do not own that data. And Meta last year had 2 million accounts hacked. I don't want to scare people, but imagine putting all that time and energy on these beautiful things on Instagram, and boom, your business is gone. That's
Yeah,
why email has to be used.
I saw someone that's recently, their account got disabled and they have no idea why.
Yeah. It's a very tricky world out there, but email is huge. Everybody's investing in beautiful templates, and when somebody gives you their email, you're in their phone, like
You're
this,
in their
in their
phone.
inbox, like such a privilege to have somebody's email. And you know what? They can unsubscribe if they don't want to. So many people, folks, like, what do people unsubscribe? I'm like, they can unsubscribe.
That's cool.
And they can unfollow you if you want. Like, don't be so fixated on the negative things, and let that stop you from doing that, because
Oh, yeah.
email marketing works, Instagram works, but just don't focus on the wrong things. Focus on conversations. That's why I'm very big on conversations. I think I might start shifting, no more lead generation, and start saying conversations more often.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
that's a
because
more
of the,
sexier term.
well, Alia, it has been wonderful. Where can people find you? LinkedIn?
So let's connect on LinkedIn first. So it's Alia Khatib. So maybe you could share the link with them later. I am
Absolutely.
also on Instagram. I'm also very active on there because it's still a fun platform, but I don't depend on it for my business. Marketing consultant _ Alia. And yeah, I have a couple of freebies. I do have a couple of freebies and masterclasses for LinkedIn. So I will share that with you, Linda, if you'd like. I give you everything so you could just
Absolutely.
turn your LinkedIn profile into a magnetic sales funnel. And you know, when people are searching, they will find you, and it's just a beautiful platform to be using, honestly. Thank you for having me also.
100%. This has been a long time coming, but I really believe, everything happens in the right time.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have a chance, stop by the website at lindamendable.com and join us over at Monetizing Mompreneurs Facebook group. I just want to say again, thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening.